Alright, ladies and genitals, Four Eyes in here, coming at you, coming through, and today we are talking about the top 5 perks in the game. I am also going to put them in tiers, so there will be 3 tiers. The first tier being amazing god tier perks, the second tier is good, and the third tier is meh, you can skip out on this one. And at the end I will give you my top 5 perks. In our first perk slot, or the red slot, we will start with Engineer. I think Engineer would be a tier 3 perk, borderline tier 2 compared to the other perks in the red slot. It just gets outshined. It is good if you want to hunt down kill streaks or annoying field upgrades like the Jammer and Field Mic. Next we have Paranoia, which is basically 6th Sense. And I think this is a tier 3 perk. I think this perk is mainly for new players or players who are struggling with visibility because it is hard to see people inside of Cold War and I run past enemies all the time. Next we have Flak Jacket, which is easily a tier 1 perk. Easily. Explosives in this game are just very powerful. If you play without Flak Jacket on, you will notice how much more you die in this game. This perk just saves you on a lot of deaths. In the higher skill bracket, your nades are pretty much useless because everyone is rocking Flak Jacket and I don't blame them. Next is Tactical Mask. Now this could be a tier 1 or tier 2 perk depending on your playstyle and game mode. If you like to play objective, this is a tier 1 perk. But if no one is rocking stuns and flashes, and let's say they have stim shot on, then there's no reason to use this perk. It is a really strong perk though, especially if you play objective. Now we have Forward Intel. I think this is a tier 2 perk. Your map becomes bigger and it will ping a red dot on where they spawn. I think this is a perk that benefits most players, especially players who play on big maps or can slay out. So if you're a fragger, this is a great perk, but if you already know the spawns well, you don't really need this, and I would recommend you just go with Flak Jacket or Tactical Mask. If you rock extra perks for the red slot, I would say pick up Flak Jacket and equip your next favorite perk like Tactical Mask or Forward Intel. In our perk 2 slot or the blue slot, we have Assassin, and I think this is a tier 3 perk. This perk relies on your enemy to go on a streak, so you're pretty much only getting use of the perk when you are getting destroyed or if you run into a lot of good players, and it gets countered by ghost and suppressors, so I don't think it's that great. Next we have Gearhead. Now I think this is a tier 1 perk just because there are so many good field upgrades like Jammer, Trophy System, Field Mic. You will be able to just deploy them more often and you get an extra charge. This is just a great perk. Scavenger in my opinion is a tier 2 perk. If you're slaying out, getting a lot of kills, then this is a very useful perk. If you're not really slaying out, there really isn't a point since you can just rock Gearhead and equip the assault pack, and now you have ammo for you and your teammates. Next we have Quartermaster. This perk could have easily been in tier 1 and it could be a tier 1 perk depending on who you ask, but I think this is a tier 2 perk just because Flak Jacket exists. This is not a joke. I have literally been in lobbies where every player has Flak Jacket on and there is almost no point of chucking nades except for like chip damage. So yeah, Quartermaster, it's useful especially when you just want to harass your enemies or if you want to destroy field upgrades. Tracker, I think, is a tier 2 perk. The footsteps aren't as bright as Modern Warfare, and the added bonus of pinging your opponent's location on the minimap to your teammates is a nice little buff. You just have to have teammates that look at their map and that aren't brain dead. Finally, we have the perk 3 slot or yellow slot. Personally, I think the best perks are in this slot and it is easily the most competitive. Starting off with Gung-Ho, this is a tier 2 perk. It is a great perk if you just want to run and gun. If you are a mechanically gifted player or you're just aggressive AF and you like pushing, this is the perk for you. On the other hand, if you like camping, then there's no reason for you to use this perk. Next we have Ghost. To some people this is a tier 1 perk, but I think it's a tier 2 perk just because if no one rocks the UAV there's no point. But who am I kidding? Everyone rocks UAV or spy plane. You can die and get a spy plane. This game literally hands out score streaks. Now we have Cold-Blooded, and Cold-Blooded is a tier 2 perk. It's pretty much like Ghost. If there's no kill streaks, there's no point. I guess if they're also rocking thermals or a flashlight and you want to hide in the bushes and cartel in peace, this could be a god tier perk. Or if you're playing Search and Destroy, this could be a tier 1 perk. Next we have Ninja, and this is definitely a tier 1 perk. Once you unlock Ninja, there's no point of taking it off. The bass footsteps sounds without Ninja is as loud as Modern Warfare. You're literally walking around in Timberland boots. You will literally get sound hoard turned on if you don't have ninja equipped. Spycraft is up next, and I think this is a really underrated perk. I'm going to put it in a tier 2, but this perk literally makes you immune to so many things, especially the field upgrades and the counter spy plane. I think you will get the most use from the immunity and hacking of the field upgrades just because you will run into them more often. That is the tier list. Now let's go over my top 5, starting with a honorable mention. I want to put Gung-Ho and Spycraft. They could have made my top 5, and they might make it on yours depending on your playstyle and the situations you run into your matches. At number 5 we have Ghost. My games tend to have a lot of UAV spam, so it's definitely in my top 5. Next we have Tactical Mask at 4. I play a lot of objective based game modes, and even when I'm not on a objective, I just hate getting stunned in this game. It makes you disorientated and you can only hip fire. Then at 3 we have Gearhead. Like I said, this perk is super useful. You can just spam field upgrades like jammers, trophy systems, and field mics. Try this on Nuketown and you will be amazed. Ninja at number 2. Those silent footsteps are really powerful. You can get off some really nasty flanks. I think Ninja is actually a little too quiet in this game, but if it never changes, I can just adapt. Finally, at number 1, it's no surprise, it's Flak Jacket. Even with its nerfs, just the ability to eat a grenade unless you get stuck with a Semtex is just way too powerful. Try playing a game without Flak Jacket and you will see what I'm talking about. So yeah, that is pretty much my top 5 perks in the game and the tier list of my thoughts on the other perks. Tell me what is your top 5, so leave a comment below. I will try my best to reply to all comments. If you enjoyed the video, and only if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe with post notifications turned on, only if you want to. Other than that, namaste my friend, and I will talk to you in the next video.